before I turn the camera around, it is Friday night. M5 is clean after a long week. I think this thing did 5 trips to and from the shop this week. A whole week and it's dirty, but it actually was. And I put a few hours in it today and it cleaned up great. So happy Friday, end of the week. I need a shower, I need to shave, I need to lay down. My back is like a 7 out of 10. Today was a very taxing day. So I'm gonna be all over the place. I didn't get a clip in at the shop. I had my car idling outside. Didn't want to spend 5 minutes walking around, leaving it out there. So normal emails and shit this morning. Went into the shop around 11 something. Picked up parts, got the last cam sensor for the other Silverstone 2000, put that in, plumb them back together. That's done. We already replaced the kidney grills, power steering, reservoir mounts. That stuff's done. We're noticing that when we cycle the key, the little oil indicator's yellow. Looked up the last service record. It's been about 6,000 miles in 10 months, due for an oil change. Confirmed with the customer, he wants to do an oil change, wants to do a Blackstone analysis. We did both of those things. The differential is seeping. I think I mentioned this. We have replaced those seals already, but at that time we were not cleaning out the vent tube, or vent hole. I guess it's not a tube, it's just a hole in the case. And of course the vent hole is on the very top of the diff, so it's got to come out to be cleaned out. So that happens Monday. He's not complaining about it. It's one of these quality control things that, yes, it wastes a lot of our time, but it's got to be right. He paid for the job and we've got to make it right for him. So we're going to be doing that on Monday. Then that car's ready for pickup. The Sepang M5 is ready for test driving. If I didn't need my car with split folding seats for the weekend, I would have brought his home this weekend to put some miles on it. The Silverstone 2006 from M5, from Canada, the Canadian M5, we got the adaptive headlight modules today. I guess they replaced the AHL name with ALC, adaptive light control. So we got those modules. I put them on the headlights, cycled the key, cleared the codes. No more codes for the adaptive headlights, but they weren't leveling. So I followed some instructions online. In fact, when you buy the part, it says like ALC module and then in parentheses uncoded. So obviously it has to be coded. So according to forums, the way to code the module is to write a blank .fsw psw.man preference file to it. That forces the module to go out and read the vehicle order and say, okay, what am I? And that brought the adaptive lights warning back on the dash. Just replacing the modules got rid of the code. They just weren't leveling right. So then you write the blank file, make them go out and program themselves, and then they weren't leveling and I had the code. So that was annoying. So what I ended up doing was going to my dad's car, copying the modules down using NCS Expert, do a read on each module left and right, and then put it into dummy, export it as a .man, and then do an SG coherent command or a write command to pretty much just copy the file, the preference file out of my dad's car and put it in that car, and that worked. Now they level, there's no codes, the headlights are done, the light module is working. We're finally ready to put the bumper back together, install the cooler block-off solution, which we have in stock. I got the bolts from Germany today. Yeah, they didn't have those bolts anywhere in the United States. They had to come from Germany, just Torx like M12 by 1.5 bolts or something stupid. So, wow, we're almost done there. That car needs an alignment. It needs to be test driven. I've got to put together the pedal box sealing, which I'm so annoyed about. We cannot find the little bracket that snaps on the light module. It's not important. It doesn't do anything. I don't know why it's there, but the idea is we took it off. Now we've lost it. So I have to find another one. I ordered one. It's in Germany. So now I got to go to a junkyard or go on eBay and find one that's clean and just as good or better than the one he had that we can't find. And I'm so freaking frustrated with that. I spent an hour tearing my hair out, running around the shop looking for it today. We have too many projects going on, too many parts all over the place, and I'm not going to allow the work to suffer because of that. Any other shop would put it back together and say, oh, well, it's not there anymore. No, we're going to find the damn part. Moving on, my dad's car. So the throttle, I took out the new throttle that we just bought, checked the pins. None of the pins were pushed in. There's no problem with the wiring at the pedal. Then the next step, I borrowed a throttle out of the Canadian car, plugged that in, went for a drive. I was on my way back like 10 miles into the drive thinking, hey, this did it. The new throttle must not be compatible. And right as I'm pulling into the parking lot, bling, check engine light, no power. I mean, you floor it and the speedometer's like 32, 34, 37. It's so slow. I really don't get why the engineers thought, hey, at any signs of trouble, let's just completely castrate the engine. Nate says it's high compression, whatever. I think that they're just incentivizing you to get it into service, to give them money to fix it. It wouldn't hurt anything running without a proper throttle. So then I opened up the DME box on the car. We checked all 6 pins continuity to the X60001 block. All pins had proper continuity. 3 of them are pins that we have to tap into for the manual conversions, like pins 9, 10, and 13, 9, 10, and 11, something like that. So some of those crimps weren't great. That was my first manual conversion. At the time, we hadn't found the proper part number for the pins for the DME, so we found ones that fit. They just weren't right. I had to modify them a little bit with a Dremel. So now I have the right pins. That took a lot of time. But what we did was just kind of work over the DME box wiring and do it to the same quality standards that we're doing the current conversions. Put it back together, cleared the codes, drove the car 15 miles. So far, so good. So it looks like it was a wiring problem. It's my fault. I take full responsibility for it. This is something that we've come a long way in 2 years. We've learned a lot. We've gotten better parts. I've gotten better tools. I have more knowledge, more experience. So it looks like it was a wiring issue. So that's on me. But put back together, running well. So that's good. We talked about the 2000. What the hell else did we do today? I spent a lot of time organizing in the shop. I should have shown you that tonight. Just cleaned out a whole bunch of shelves, made room for customer parts. So when we get these cars, we got to pull the belly pans. And if we're doing work like cam position sensors, we have to pull the air intake boxes, the cabin boxes, the plenum, upper, lower, velocity stacks, all this shit has to come off. And we've been putting it, I'll put it in the corner, put it on the floor, keep it clean. But it's just in the way. It's on the floor. It's shrinking the shop. I feel the walls coming in around me. I don't like that. We need more shelving space. And we kind of organized the shelves that we have a ton of shelving in there, but the idea was we're going to be in used parts and we're going to be picking stuff off and putting stuff back. So everything was just laid out, a ton of wasted space. So what I've done, we very rarely reference those parts. I do not advertise that I sell parts anymore. If someone emails me, I say, sorry, I'm out of the parts business. Really, the parts we have left are for internal use. When we get a customer car that needs a charcoal canister and they don't want to spend $3,000 on a new one, okay, I have one for $200, something like that. A rare part, something for a friend, yes, of course, I'll still sell stuff. In fact, I got a comment today on a math boot. I haven't fully read the email yet. I don't think I have it. I will get back to you long before you see this. Jeez. So I've been putting those parts in boxes, printing labels, labeling the boxes, organizing the boxes on the shelves. I've freed up an entire 2 rows of shelving that now we can use to stack these customer parts and label them and put a little tape line around and say, these parts are for this car, the last 7 of the VIN or the customer name or whatever we want to do. I need to shut my brain off. My back hurts so bad. I got to get to bed. It's like 11, I think, or 10 something. I might take tomorrow easy and just hang here and kind of clean stuff up. I need a new mattress. I have to go shopping for that. I have a whole inbox full of emails because I'm out on the shop floor today working on the car, working on organizing, doing wiring and stuff. And we didn't even work on the frozen gray car too much today. I want to figure out that neutral sensor code. There's too much to do, which, it's a good problem. You have a lot of business to do. Yes, but it's not as efficient as I want it to be. And that's where I'm coming from with the stress. Anyway, Friday night. Hope you guys had a good week. We've got the weekend coming up. It's going to be nice in town. I think maybe we'll go to Cars and Coffee tomorrow. I don't know. We'll have to see what time I wake up. Good night.